Welcome to Weekly Marketing Thoughts with CTG Intelligence, your weekly look at marketing, PR, business development for your business and your career. This week, we've got a bit of a different thing going on. We're interviewing someone in the field about their marketing thoughts. Just with all of these episodes, we're thinking about our general impressions and our ideas. We're not marketing gurus, we're just people in the field making observations. And this week, we're very, very pleased to be joined by Mostyn Thomas of Astrix, and we're going to be looking at how MSPs and IT services should think about marketing themselves, especially now. Nice to see you, Mostyn. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Pam. Very, very well indeed. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, pleasure to have you. Well, let's delve into it then. Tell us about the landscape post lockdown, during lockdown. What's been going on?
Hey, well, I'm glad you said that. I'm not a marketing guru because I'm definitely not. But like you said, we're going to give our own view. And I think during lockdown, a lot of people's marketing, ours particularly, and a lot of people, I deal a lot with MSPs, has had to soften somewhat. I mean, a lot of MSPs were doing the relationship and solution selling anyway, but it's had to be a little, how can we help you? And a lot of them have been saying, what can I do for you to help out, before actually trying to make a sale. And I think that's been highly successful. And I haven't got any evidence, but I think the people who've been trying to do the traditional hard sell cold calling have not profited as much as they normally do, I believe. Post lockdown, I think that I guess define post lockdown, but let's say that might be next year. I think the people who've spent a lot of time, honing their product and making it more solution, more tailored to individual needs, and that might be people working from home or in more distributed teams or whatever that means for the individual client. The people who've honed their solution ready for that to hit the ground running, or to use that phrase, are going to profit post lockdown, as opposed to just reverting back to hard sell. I think a lot of people have said, it's the new normal, the world has changed, and I think IT and managed service selling has changed as well in that time, and that's fairly obvious, I guess, but we're here to discuss. So
Yeah.
I really think that post lockdown, the people who really adopt that and understand how their customers have changed radically, a lot of them are really going to profit.
No, that's good news. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to that post-lockdown period. Um,
Yeah.
but on a fundamental level, imagine there was no corona anyway. Can you tell us your thoughts about the main differences marketing to end customers as an MSP, rather than what many people might be familiar with, business to business marketing?
Yeah, I think my understanding of that would be the difference between vendor marketing, really, to end customers. Yeah, taking certain software companies, they market direct to end users, and essentially you'll get the same product, but but again, it's this relationship marketing that comes into it. Really, is the fact that it's important to understand all the pain points, all the positives that and where your customer is trying to achieve. So whereas you can put very, very big exhibition stand or amazing website and offers and whether they're on, then put it out there and say, look how great we are, buy offers. The situation going forward, I think, will be that the people who take the time to engage with their customers at whatever level that might be, understand where they want to be, what their problems are, and what their potential is, where they want to gain, and then tailor solutions around that, and start a partnership from day one. Really, start with the end in mind. Are the ones that are really going to profit here. It doesn't sound like anything new, but I still see, and I'm sure yourself, I still see people, just putting that out there and saying, look, we're great, just buy off us. And that, I just don't think that's going to work anymore.
Yeah.
It might work in certain industries and certain, slight niches here and there, but the majority of the time, I believe that it is all about that relationship selling. And my area of expertise is cybersecurity, for instance. And you can't just say you need cybersecurity, buy some. It doesn't work that way. You have to understand your clients and say, I can take that pain away, or I can maybe make you more efficient to go and do more of whatever you do. And you must start to understand the business language more, and the risk reward conversation, really. What are your risks, and how can we remove them and get to more reward?
No, I like that. And that MSP 50-mile sweet spot, catering to your clients, the trusted advisor, it's going to work a lot more than hey, join my free webinar and just insert brand name about how you're going to buy my product. Well, no, I'm not going to sit there for 3 hours and get pitched about how I'm going to buy your branded product. No.
I agree, and we've seen a few of those, no doubt, between us and so your audience.
I did an entire video deconstructing emails that had come through to me, and some of them were literally, "Dear me, branded product wants to invite you to the branded products webinar about branded products," and it just carried on, and it's like 10 mentions of the branded product, no mention of how I'm going to benefit from sitting on it. Anyway, what I'd like to know then. Security, very important, very key. But how, especially in this climate, would an MSP start to talk about security services to an existing client versus a new client?
That's a very good question. Very good indeed, and not an easy one to answer. I think if I take the new client out of that to start with, I think just alter your sales pitch, as it were. And we've just said, that the world of sales is going to change, but you still need a pitch. You still need to know what you're going to go to your client with. So do your homework before you turn up on site, or whether it's a Zoom call, and or Teams, or any other manufacturer is available, of course. And do your homework on them, because you want to have an ongoing relationship, business relationship with them. So I would do all that first, and then I would introduce security as maybe part of the risk conversation, because you're not doing your job properly unless you're talking about the risks of their business, be that backup failure, be that even as basic as UPSs, because they get lots of power failures, or ransomware, phishing attacks, whatever. We can go on and on. I'm trying to keep it to marketing here rather than security, but I think I would have that risk conversation with them and place that quite high up the list. I would say that, I guess, but cybersecurity is on everyone's agenda at the moment, so it wouldn't be difficult to sell to a new client. So I would put it, right up there, along with disaster recovery and those sort of things, and indeed efficiency, maybe, because someone wants to learn how to be more efficient and make more money at whatever they do. So with a new client, it's about moving the agenda up, moving security up that agenda, and selling that before you sell, I don't know, the nice database first.
Yeah.
But with existing clients, it becomes probably a little more difficult, because I'm perfectly aware, dealing with lots of MSPs, that many of their clients just assume they do it anyway. They just assume that security comes baked in with the IT service. And, a degree does. We will set up complex passwords and maybe some encryption and VPN maybe, and those things. But that, in the purest sense of the word, really is only a small part of security, and has been good enough, over the previous years, but over the last 2 to 3 years particularly, the whole threat landscape has accelerated exponentially. It's now just so much of a threat to many companies, and even the smallest companies. In fact, more devastating to small companies than large ones, quite often. So I think where I would go with that is maybe 2 ways. It's a delicate thing. I haven't got the perfect answer here, Adam. But I think what I would say is, I would, at those quarterly reviews, which you should be having as a trusted advisor, I would certainly accelerate that security conversation, that risk conversation, right to the top of the agenda. Do my homework first, go there and talk about it, and maybe gauge the situation as to as to how I frame that, and if they seem receptive, I would certainly try and push that. And ultimately, you're looking to protect them with maybe a new disaster recovery scenario
Yeah,
or
because
something like that.
there's plenty of new threats out there that are absolutely, going to astound us just in a couple of years.
Indeed.
So there's always room for more caution. Um, but of course, if I'm an end customer, then it's not my favorite topic. Oh yes, another subscription, fantastic. Um, it's a tough one, but perhaps as society gets more accepting of the risk, well, not tolerant of the risk, but accepting that the risk is real, maybe that will make
I
it
think so,
easier.
and I think make use of the media, which is our friend at the moment.
Mhm.
I think I would certainly turn up at a meeting or on here and say, rather than the usual presentation, I might pull together some relevant articles. Say they're a medical practice, a dentist, or something like that. Find some breaches and stuff. You're not there to frighten them, but to say, look, people like you are suffering problems like this, and how we could sort this is this. I'm not saying this is going to happen to you, but it could. It's a risk. Do you think we should talk about that? You could back it up with those sort of things. We are talking about marketing here, really,
Yeah.
rather than face-to-face is marketing, but obviously maybe some newsletters and stuff that you deal with, I don't know, a dozen dentists. It's worth putting that information out. And as you said earlier, don't get caught by this, buy this, just advice, some nice gentle advice around, hey, don't get caught like this. If you need any advice, give us a call, sort of thing, or please message us or whatever. And give some tips for free, give some stuff away. So, you as an MSP, you almost definitely give stuff away every day, because that's the sort of people they are. But with a possibility there for someone to come and go, this is great, but couldn't you do this for me? And then you're into a conversation straight away about how much it's going to cost. I think the only other way is depending on what level of security we're talking about, is for the MSP to take that cost on themselves, get that extra security in, and then tier their service over the coming months to maybe accept, raise their prices. Not easy in this climate, but there are people making good money and are prepared to protect it. So raise your, what is the saying that all boats float in a rising tide? So
Yeah.
if you raise your level entirely of the company and say, well, this is what we're doing as a company now, and we think everyone has got to be this secure, so we're doing this. It's going to cost you a little bit more, but trust me, everyone's going to be fine. It all depends on your clients, really, and what level they're at. But many people will just take that on board and say, yeah, look, if you think it's right, it's right. So again, it does come down, there's no one size fits all, as the old traditional marketing messages go. It doesn't work that way anymore. But I think that's how I would tackle the existing clients one, but not an easy one. I'm
No,
not a
no.
marketeer, but I do know selling to existing clients more money is never easy.
No, I like that. And you say you're not a marketeer, but I get the feeling we're all marketeers, especially if we're in charge of our product, because I guess we know it best. And especially during the lockdown, you don't want people detached from the product going out there, going, because sometimes, people will pay for marketers as third parties, and they'll go out there and go, yes, this MSP is the best thing since. No, it doesn't. It just doesn't gel with the audience. So I think everyone's a marketer deep down.
I guess so.
We're proud of our babies, and we want you to appreciate them too. I don't know.
It's just my get out of jail, because my advice might be rubbish and people will just tell you.
No, and that's the beauty. These are just thoughts. There's plenty of marketing guru people out there who want $1,000 for some book or whatever. But I mean, I think we can help each other
Yeah,
this
yeah,
way, and
yeah.
it's a lot easier. Well, that is all we've got time for. This is a fantastic looking at this, and I enjoy this format because rather than just me talking to camera, actually bringing someone from a field and asking their thoughts too, I think that's really good. So I hope you've enjoyed it, Mostyn. It's been great welcoming you.
It's been fantastic. Thank you.
Great. Well, this has been Weekly Marketing Thoughts with CTG Intelligence. Please click that thumbs up button below and hit subscribe for more content just like this. And I look forward to seeing you next week.